I'd like to say everyone to this special announcement webinar for TronLoop.io. If you've been with us since the beginning, my hat's off to you. Thank you for believing in us. And if you joined us recently or you don't really know what's going on, allow me to break it down to you. I'm going to be as open as possible and want to explain to you where we've been and where we're going. Now, when we started, I think we started the official, I say official, a control pre-launch on, it was, if I'm not mistaken, was Thursday, October the 22nd. We started that for 4 days, on the 22nd, on the 23rd, on the 24th, 25th, and then we went public on the 26th. Now, those who were part of the pre-launch, uh, a lot of you received not just once, but many times over, because the nature of the loop started really tight, and it was great. And you saw how powerful the system was. And we came with an approach of a system that would have no requirements, no upline, no downline, none of that stuff. And I really took that to heart. I really like, and I'm being very honest in this webinar as to, our approach. And I think it was still the right approach, beautiful approach, and everybody loved it. Still, as we know, we need growth, and growth sometimes is painful. Like it's not always smooth as the way it could be. Sometimes you have plans, you have forecasts, and things don't happen the way you would want to. And what are we right now? We're Monday the 9th, and now it's been, we're entering basically, we've completed 2 weeks, and we looked at what happened, and we've heard people, we heard from the community. Now, the response we got is totally positive. What people said is that we came up with something that a lot of people have been looking for, a breath of fresh air. We've raised the standard. A lot of things people said, and a lot of the community members, for example, my good friend Max created a huge Telegram group, added thousands of people in the group, and I'm sure a lot of these people don't even know what's going on, but yet they're about to know. So, and then also doing webinars, 7 days a week. I don't want to go through a burnout, so I decided that it's best that I do webinars from Mondays to Fridays, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern time and 10 p.m. Eastern time, so I could accommodate anyone, anywhere, and convey the message. Now, today, what we had is that our website was offline. Like some human error, like something was supposed to be fixed. When it got fixed, when it was time to reload the website, instead of reloading the proper file of the website, all of a sudden it's the original file of the website before we pre-launched that got loaded, and my partner in a different time zone was not reachable. The developer that we have that's in our team was not reachable. So we had to deal with this. And like they say, never let a crisis go to waste. So while this was happening, I'm talking to different people, call different people, ask a few questions, thinking, how can we move forward? How can we really grow this? How can we even compete with the big names out there in the smart contract arena? And with that being said, I felt like, okay, we're not going to we're not going to be stopped, and we're not going to be censored. We're not going to be controlled. Still, we need to grow. And I want to keep things the way they are as much as possible. And we're going to do this. So, for example, the membership that we have right now, that membership is not going nowhere. So if you are already in TronLoop, I'm telling you, it's probably the best decision you've made to be in TronLoop before the announcement I'm going to make. Because going forward, what we're about to do, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take. Is it a few days or maybe a week? We have to discuss with our developer to see how this can be done, but I know it can be done. And what we mean is that we're going to basically migrate ourselves from one smart contract to another smart contract, exactly the database as it is. So you don't have to re-register, you don't have to repay. But when we're going forward, here's the reason why we're doing that. And we have no choice. And I'm going to open the lines to hear your comments and even questions, but we have no choice. Like I said, growth can be painful at times, but we have to grow. And the reason why I say we have to grow is that in the last week or so, when we look at what's going on, is that people like the concept of not having to invite no one. And they like the concept of no upline, downline, and all that good stuff. But I think the most important thing is the circular aspect of the system. The fact that everybody will get an opportunity to loop not just once, but many times over. But for that to happen, we need to grow. And because of the growth aspect, we can't just leave it in the hands of people just sitting there waiting, turning their thumbs and just looking at their thumbs and waiting. We have to incentivize those who can help us grow. Now, I know my previous webinars, I'm almost been trying to brainwash networkers and sponsors and recruiters and telling them that, TronLoop is the best thing since sliced bread. And I still think it is, but they're not incentivized. My words are not enough to help them help us grow. So because of that, a decision is being taken right now, and it's being shared, to be honest with you, before it's finally taken. But I think, and after speaking with a few people, I think it's probably the best decision where the plan of you don't have to invite anybody will remain. So if you are in TronLoop or if you're going to be in TronLoop, you won't have to invite anyone. But those who do it will be incentivized, not just once, but many times over. And what I'm trying to say before I talk about the numbers, just imagine, again, you'll be able to join TronLoop going forward, but you'll be able to join TronLoop through someone. There will be a referral link. It won't be an ID number. The referral link probably will be, I'm only speculating, but it probably will be our wallet addresses. That way we don't have to put no numbering because we already are the numbers that we are. And going forward, it's not about the numbers. It's about the circular. Yeah, it's not about, the ranking, because the first shall be last and the last shall be first. Well, we need to, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. We need to incentivize those who can help us grow. And we have some major people who the plan of TronLoop resonated to them. They like the simplicity. They like how powerful it is. They just need a little push. They just need a little incentive. And I took, my 2 days off I took, which is going forward, I'm taking my weekends back. Realized that, okay, I realize it. I get it. I myself am a networker and myself am a recruiter. But I still want to give room to those who cannot recruit, who cannot sponsor. I still want them to be part of this great adventure. So basically, what we're going to do is accommodate everyone. If you can help us grow, you will be incentivized. And I'll give the numbers in a few. And if you cannot help us grow, don't worry about it. You'll be invited by someone. That person will receive an incentive for inviting you. And if you can invite someone, then you can get that incentive also. So going forward, that's why I say we're going to do a migration. And that's why I say never let a crisis go to waste. So we had a minor crisis of just the fact that a minor fix, a human error, got our website offline. And then when it was time to reboot the server, next thing you know, we're back there as if we never launched. And then don't be worried. Like, your data, your wallet, the database, everything is still there. But at the same time, I'm taking the opportunity today on this Monday, the 9th of November. We said that this month is TronLoop's month, TronLoop's month, and I intend to make it that way. So I think it's probably the best decision. I fought it. I ain't gonna lie. I fought wanting to give incentive to networkers or recruiters or sponsors. I wanted something different. I didn't want no upline, no downline. I still think, because of the circular nature of TronLoop, there is no upline or downline per se. Still, I have no choice but to, accommodate our recruiters. They are great people, and they can basically make us reach the moon, if not the stars. I hope you folks can see this. It took me a while to see it. I ain't gonna lie. There's a few people on this line that sent me a few messages, and I almost fought them because of those messages. But when I think about it, it's not about me. It's about the community. And I want us to grow. I want us to grow tremendously, humongously. And I think that going forward with that decision of incentivizing those who can help us grow, and at the same time still accommodating those who basically could basically help us grow, I think it's the right decision. And you know what? It makes me happy. As stressed as I was, as much as I fought the situation, in the long run, I'm at peace. I'm at ease. I realize that it's going to make us even stronger. And like I said, if you've been in TronLoop already, it's going to be amazing. So, so going forward, so let me reiterate just the points properly. New members will have, will be referred, or will have a referral ID or the smart contract address of the person who invited them to join. Number two, the inviting member will receive, now here's the crazy thing, the inviting member or the sponsor or the recruiter will receive 20% of all the infinity loops that people they refer and deposit into, and then the inviting member will continue to receive 20% from the referred member loop deposit. What it means is that everyone going forward, we're going to receive 80% of the looping that we give, because 20% will go to those who invite people in the system. And I think it's a great incentive, not just a one time, but all the time. So imagine if you have 5 people or 10 people, and every time they loop, you get 20% of what they loop. And if let's do the numbers. There's 8 infinity loops. It comes up to almost 1,600 American. Let's round it to 1,600 for the sake of this explanation. And if I'm not mistaken, let me take 1,600 times 20%, that's 320. So if you have 5, 10, 20 people on all 8 infinity loops that would be looping simultaneously, just for the sake of this example, then the 20% you get is amazing, as the fact that you're helping us grow. And that's what we came as an idea. It's not set in stone yet, but we think it's a great incentive. It's not too high and it's not too low. And I think this will enable us to reach the stars. And, like I said, I'm at peace. It makes me happy, but I did fight it in the beginning. I did say, nah, I don't want that. Nah. But I think it's the right decision. I think this will incentivize those on this webinar, and those who's going to hear or watch this webinar going forward. It's going to incentivize them and let them know that TronLoop is for real. And I think it's just going to take us a few days, maximum maybe a week, to get this implemented, because we already have the contract. We just need to tweak it, and we'll do a migration. So if you are already in TronLoop, you got a golden, if not a platinum position right now. And basically that's it. So I'm about to open the line for comments, for questions. I look forward to hear what you folks have to say. And I think Frank Green would like to say something first. Frank, I'm going to unmute you, sir. Let me start with you on a count of 3, 2, 1. Mr. Green, go ahead, sir.
Okay, I like the concept. It really is inviting. The only thing I want to ask is those people that have multiple accounts, will we have to get people for each one of their accounts?
No, your accounts remain the way they are. They will keep on looping. But going forward, anyone you bring, they will be attached to any of those accounts. You decide which accounts you want to attach them to.
Oh, so we have to choose from choose like one or, let's say for instance, you said some people have 8, 7 accounts. So you just pick out what, 1 or 2 accounts, or?
Well, the accounts that we have right now will not be. The thing is, we cannot connect these accounts with, like we cannot quote unquote I'm only speculating, but I don't think we can connect our present account as referrals. So it's only going forward. Like, again, Mr. Green, it's not set in stone, but we'll make sure we fine tune it. But I think the overall picture is that we want to make sure that those who can help us grow are incentivized. And if you cannot help us grow, you'll still loop with us.
Okay, so that means that we have to come in again, then from there we get a special loop for
No, you don't
bringing
have
on.
to come. No, you don't have to come in again. We're migrating the present database to the new contract. So those who are already in TronLoop don't have to come again. Is those who come in new will be referred.
Okay, so if say if you have 7 people, 7 accounts, but you take that one account and you're going to be getting, going forward, all the people that you bring in from those accounts, you'll be getting the percentage.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And what do you think, sir?
Well, I love that. I love the concept. Yeah, that's good.
I think it's going to give us a lot of traction, and I think it's going to
Yeah,
really incentivize a lot of people. So,
yeah, I
well,
agree.
thank you
I
for
like
your
it.
comment, and
Uh-huh.
and I thank you for being on these webinars as often as you are. I mean, you already know how it works, but thank you for supporting us. I really appreciate that.
No, thank you for bringing it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Now, my friend Earl Dixon want to say something. Let me unmute him. Earl, I'm going to unmute you on the count of 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Earl.
Okay, so Apartment. So first of all, I want to thank you for being here again, guys. I'm sitting in the background, and again, I'm a participant just like you guys are. I did another webinar earlier today about financial technology. This is a FinTech program, um, to be able to give people incentive to share and to get that 20% is truly, truly, truly amazing. And talking to the young man, Mr. Green, who asked the question, you say you got 7 accounts. So with those 7 accounts, if you send out your referral link, you still got 7 accounts. So you got 7, that's like 7 bank accounts, brother. Like 7 bank accounts. And you can send the referral link on each of those accounts out and promote each of those accounts. And if you refer people on each of those accounts, you're still gonna get 20% based on you referring people to go to those 7 different bank accounts. Got me? Is that right, Conform?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. So I like the fact that you're incentivizing it and you're just giving us some gas to grow. Just simply giving us some gas to grow. Now I set up like I was saying, I'm really in this. My son is going to college, and I put that Tron over there, and that 20% is gonna help me to increase his college fund.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and I want to challenge everybody on this platform. If you got kids out there and you got, you've been you need to put some money away. Hey, just go ahead and come into TronLoop, and make it work for yourself, and ensure with other people who got a reason to do like me. That's to set up a fund for my son so that he'll have money when he go to college. All right, coming back to you.
Hey, thank you very much. Actually, you know what? I want to say this. I just thought about it. Imagine, right? All 8 infinity loops. That's again, if we round it to 1600, imagine you refer 5 people and they all looping on all 8 infinity loops. 5 times 320, that's 1600 back in your pocket as if like, I mean, I think that 20% we're going to implement really can make us really blow to levels we didn't even know. And because of saying that, I'd like to unmute if he allows me. Brian Johnson, would you like to say something, sir?
Oh, yes, it's a pleasure being here tonight as always. And like I said, that 20%, that's huge, when you can just really elevate the platform by bringing other people to the table and you getting 20%, that's kind of like a check match. And, from that perspective, all the recruiters that recruit can really go to work and get down and grind. And so I know we should grow with that new concept. So that's a good thing, I think, in my opinion.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And thank you again for supporting us. I really appreciate that. Let me go with David. Mr. David Bass, I'd like to hear your opinion. What do you think about what we're going to do going forward?
William, I think it's fantastic. A lot of people, when they join a business or a project like this, and of course, this is a smart contract project, but relating back to other businesses, people know, well, how do I get my money back? Well, real simple, as you just pointed out. If you brought in somebody for all 8 loops, and it says 1600, if you bring in 5 people, you got your money back. Okay, that's whether you've looped or not, you've got your money back. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot of that. Bring in 5. I mean, the old saying is the average person brings in 2.3 people in the marketing industry. But the fact is, 85% don't bring anybody in. That's just the way it is, just about it. But the ones that do bring people in, bring in average of 7. Now, some of us bring 10, 15, 20. Some of us bring 3 or 4, but the average is about 7. So I think that we've got a model here that could really be good. It'll take a little time. We're all not built today, so I think we have to be patient for the developers to implement this and get it in place. And from there, we'll be ready to start looping and referring a lot of people. So the question now, will we be assigned using our current position? We'll be able to refer people from that one, right? Not get a new one. Is that correct?
No, from your current position,
right?
We're literally taking the current database. We've seen it done before. Those who know smart contractors, like you've seen smart contracts migrating database from one contract to another. So you'll be able to sponsor from any or recruit or basically attach from any of your current positions. So right. Those who are ready, that's why I say those who are in TronLoop right now, I mean, again, like I played a song in the beginning, our brightest day is just ahead. And I think with this decision, and those who've encouraged us and motivated us to do that. We're gonna go. It's gonna be big. So thank you, David. Let me unmute David Gantner. David Gantner, I'd like to hear your opinion, sir.
Hey, hello. How are you doing? Yeah, no, I'm excited about it. I think that I think it'll help out a lot. And again, the concept from the beginning is great, but you know, that would have still worked. I think. You know, I know it just would have took longer to prime the pump. So this is basically going to prime the pump. And so what I think is going to happen is when the pump gets primed for the people that are actually out trying to make that 20%, it's going to cycle them, and it's going to cycle the people that don't want to bring anybody in. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to tell the people they love, because that's what people do, is when they make money, especially passively, they tell the people they love, and they're going to become recruiting machines. So again, it takes the pressure, it still has the pressure off the people. They don't have to recruit. And then it just rewards those people that are willing to go out and do it just a little bit, you know? So it's, I almost just used the word for the people, for everybody gets the lion's share. Everybody gets the lion's share. Sorry about that lion's share, but in TronLoop, everybody gets the lion's share. And then the person that's bringing the people in that can do it make the smaller amount. And guess what? Wrigley's, what do? They made their money off 1-2 cents a pack of gum, right? They became the richest gum company out there because it basically takes economics and it uses it to the fullest. Pay the builders a small amount, give the masses the lion's share or the bigger share. There we go. We won't keep stealing their name.
All right,
but thanks a lot for really thinking about it, and I believe you must have prayed on it too. And you and Charles, thank you very much.
I appreciate that. Thank you, David. I really appreciate that. Mr. Green, you want to say something else?
I was going to ask you, once you get everything in focus, how are we going to be notified?
Well, like I said, as you know, like we have the groups in WhatsApp. We have obviously we have that big Telegram group. We have our channel. So in the next, like as soon as I know what's going on, I'm going to keep you folks informed. Like tomorrow there'll be some updates, and I'll give you the ETA, the earliest time arrival, of how we're going to do this. I hope it's not going to be complicated. I mean, we already have the contract. We just need to tweak it, and we just need to migrate the database. I mean, I'm not a geek. I'm just an artist, and I came up with, but I think it can be done, and I think I don't think it's going to be that complicated, but I can't give you an exact time. I think it could be done within a week. I hope so. I think so, but by tomorrow I'll have more informed. I have more information that's more concrete.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Mr. Green. I got Islan Frank that'd like to say something. You can unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Good evening. My question is, with the changes coming, if someone would be interested in joining, do they have to wait for the change to take place, or?
Yes, well, I think it's probably the best thing to do right now, because we're going to go straight at making that. I'm just waiting for an answer from quote unquote our developer, and I would say it's probably the best thing to wait, because if you got people you're going to invite, you're going to be incentivized immediately, and I think it's a good thing. So it shouldn't take us too long, and I think it's going to get people excited, and so just wait a moment, and you'll see. As soon as we have this deployed, you'll be able to bring anybody you want.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Barlos, you can unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yes, William. Man, I just want to say I hear your heart, and I know this is probably a struggle for you, and I think it's because you're always thinking about, the little guy, and I sense that. But I actually feel it's a great decision. It's going to bring another group to the table that may have never participated in the program. Some people like that instant gratification, and I think that's the element that you're infusing here. So I think it's going to be a good thing. My question is, as far as the structure of how we loop Is any of that going to change, or is it just going to be a situation where the people who personally sponsor someone, they get their 20%, and then everything, it kind of continues as it has in, say, the existing program that we have right now?
Well, the answer to this, to your question, is everything will remain the way it is. Actually, we are incentivizing those that can help us grow so that everyone can loop. So everyone will loop, and those who already are in position to loop, you will, your turn will arrive. None of that is changing. So we're migrating the database exactly as it is. And I think, the more I think about it, yeah, it was a struggle, Barlos, to accept that I wanted to, I wanted to do something a little bit different, but it's not about me. It's about the community, and I think that TronLoop, for those who've been in the pre-launch, we saw how powerful the simplicity, and it's still simple, but like I have to incentivize the networkers, the sponsors, who's going to help those who don't sponsor. So that's the reason why we did that.
Yeah, and I think as far as the people that sponsor, it's going to be huge, because you said something that really grabbed my attention, and that is every time someone sponsored that you actually refer to the program, you're going to earn 20% over and over, and that could be huge.
Exactly.
When you really think about it. Yes.
I think that's that secret sauce.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. So I just want to congratulate you once again, and let's get it going, man. I'm here. I'm behind you 1,000%, and I know we got a great team on the call and a lot more to come. So looking forward.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you. I see Denka had unmuted. Denka, you want to say something? Did you want to say something, Denka? Okay, if not, let's go with Milton. Milton, you're going to mute yourself. You want to say something?
Hi, I just want to confirm. Obviously, I already have my 8 accounts. The question that I have is confirm that you went. Okay, obviously I'm going to recruit some people. I mean, this is fantastic, no question about it. But what happens with the new people that come on board is they're only really generating, I guess, 80%. Am I correct? Does that mean that from now on, I won't get 1,600. I'll only get I'll get 80% of that for the new recruits that come, because obviously it's looping, but the income that's directly associated with this is not as much as it was before, because we've lost 20%. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I just want to confirm that that's what will actually be happening.
You're correct, Milton. It's kind of like one step behind for 2 steps forward. So
right.
We're reducing the 100% to 80% for everyone. But again, if you can invite just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, you're not going to get 20% only once. You're going to get it over and over and over again. So again, it's 1 step behind for 2 steps forward.
I think it's fantastic. I think we're going to make a lot of money.
I'm glad to hear that. Again, like I struggled to come up with and it's not really my decision. It's our decision. I just, like people, and it's not even my decision. People, I'm not going to name the name of who actually suggested that, but credit to the person who suggested that. And after speaking with my partner Charles, and we decided that what we have in our hands is it's a bomb that can explode in ways that we don't even understand, especially with implementing this 20%. So thank you, Milton, for believing in us. Frank, did you want to say something else again? I see your hands up, or is it the fact it stayed up?
Yeah, I just want to ask another question.
Go ahead.
For those early members that didn't like this, is grandfathered in. Now, do we still get the 100%, or is it going to be broken down to where we're going to get to 20%?
Everybody going forward is getting that 80%, because that's why I said we can't. There's no way of making just the sponsor is getting 20%, and then because what would happen if you sponsor someone, you get that 20%, then the 80% goes at random to whoever is in line to loop. So everybody's going to get 80% going forward.
So that 20% then will go to the house, because we don't know who the sponsor is.
Right now, like, I mean, I forgot what the numbers we are, but as soon as we deploy, the first new person is invited by someone. So that person is generating 20% to their sponsor and 80% to whoever was going to receive. So so what's going on right now is you're going to get 80% twice. 80% goes to you, while the other 80% brings you in line to receive again.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, just food for thought, because I was wondering, we don't know who our sponsor is, so they wouldn't know what that
Well,
20,
right
or
now,
you all
what we
know.
are right now doesn't matter about the sponsoring because
Right.
we'll act as if like we were already invited. So we don't have to, and let's not forget, you don't have to invite anyone, but you will be invited by someone going forward. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, I know.
But you don't have to invite anyone. But because of the change, everybody will get 80% because that 20% will always go to the person who invites the new people going forward, the new wallets, the new accounts.
Okay, that's the reason why I was saying, so we don't know who, so who invited me, that's what I'm saying. Is the person that,
Well, that doesn't matter at this moment because you already are in the system.
yeah, yeah, I realize that.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I'm just throwing some questions out there. Don't be fretful.
oh no. I mean, no. I get what you're saying, Frank, and it's not. It may be take a moment to grasp,
Right.
but the math is that going forward, because everybody coming in will be invited by someone.
Oh yeah, that concept is wonderful. I get that. That's wonderful. Okay, I'll just wait and see.
And we'll explain it in a PDF and PowerPoint and everything.
Okay,
And
that's good.
then tomorrow again, I'll give more details. Now,
Okay.
Milton wanted to say something else. You can unmute yourself, Milton.
Yeah, just a quick one. So what happens if in the new scenario, someone comes along and they're not referred by anyone at all? I mean, they just join.
They can't.
Is there going to be spillover happening, or is it,
Well,
who gets that 20%?
Going forward, they can't join without someone inviting them.
All right. Okay. All right. Makes sense. Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Samson, whoever you are, you can say you can make a comment.
All right, Dan. So I unmuted you from my side. You need to unmute on your end.
Samson.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah, you are unmuted. We can hear you.
You asked me, how can you, the company, afford? I mean, I paid so much for cable. All right. So what?
Okay, so I'm not sure what's happening. So who else want to say something, make a comment? It's an open forum. You can unmute yourself. What do you think? Should I ask? Okay, let me ask a few people. Let me go with Vicky. Can you unmute yourself, please? I'd like to hear your comments.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, okay. I'm very proud of what you did because, as somebody said on the line, you always think about the other people. And I find there's is an incentive for people to invite other friends who can benefit greatly to that program. So I'm very proud of what you did, and then I'm supporting you 100%.
Thank you very much, Vicky. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Again, it's for the community. It is community based. The community has been asking for that. Maybe not everyone, but actually the ones who can help us grow have been asking for that, and we need to grow. And that's why I said. And sometimes, growing is painful, but we need to grow. And I don't think it's going to be that painful going when I think about it. I think it's going to be, like the more I hear the comments and the response. And I know that it may not be as clear as it can be, especially when we think about the math, but it will be clear as we implement it. And I hope that it's going to be done really, really, really fast. I just can't give you the exact timeline, but believe it that as I end this webinar, we're on it. And tomorrow I'll make sure I'll still do a webinar tomorrow at 1:00. And for those who were not on the webinar because of different time zones, like I know for example, my good friend Max, he's in London right now and it's the middle of the night for him. So I don't expect him and anybody in that time zone to be up necessarily listening to this webinar, but they'll see a recorded version. But I'll still do a webinar tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time, speak about the announcement. So reiterate the announcement, speak about where we are by the time that I get to speak with you at 1:00, and then again tomorrow at 10:00. So I think it's very exciting going forward. I think this is the fire that we needed. This is the fuel that we needed in our tank, so that we can finally just go and just break walls, just go through anything that's in front of us. And I'm excited. But again, it took me a moment to see that because my vision was more a system that has no upline, no downline. And I think still, regardless if now there'll be somebody who invites you, quote unquote, your upline, and you can invite people and have a downline and all that stuff, the system is still circular. It's still a loop. We're still looping together, and that's basically it. So on that note, I want to end with our official video. It's still as the DNA of what we represent, and we'll tweak everything, and we'll make sure everything is correct. So, folks, I mean, I love you. I love the community. We just started, and if you're not subscribed to our YouTube page, you need to. And I also, you know, we're a lot of people here. So now with this incentive, I think we can get a lot of these people here who are not in TronLoop yet. So thank you to all the admins. Thank you to all the leaders. We are all leaders in TronLoop. And like I think David said, one of the Davids, he said that's going to incentivize even those who are not recruiters to finally become recruiters. So that's basically it. Catch me tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll have more updates. And if I have updates before the webinar, I'll put it on all the channels, the groups, Telegrams, WhatsApp, and everything. So with that being said, let's watch our official video and enjoy the rest of your night or good morning. Enjoy the rest of your day, wherever you are. TronLoop.